Thank you for your patience, folks. We will reconvene the special meeting. Mr. City Attorney, is there any final action to report out?
Good evening, Madam Mayor. No final action tonight.
Thank you very much. Okay, then we will adjourn the special meeting and call to order the regular meeting of the Folsom City Council on Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Yeah, Council members Kozlowski.
Here.
Leary.
Here.
Rathel.
Here.
Rohrbaugh. Here. And Aquino.
Here. If you'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. That takes us to business from the floor. Do we have anybody wishing to address the council on items not on the agenda?
Yes, you have one request to speak this evening under business from the floor from Eileen Chandler.
Okay, come on down. Yeah. Just a reminder, this is an opportunity for the public to address the council on items that are not on the agenda, but because they are not on the agenda, state law prohibits us from taking any action or deliberating, but we're happy you're here. Welcome, and
Thank you.
You've got 3 minutes, so make the most of it.
I will go real quickly.
You can talk right into that microphone, please, so the camera picks it up. Perfect.
I just
Thank
have a couple of questions or suggestions. First, I'd like to know where here in Folsom I can recycle my water bottles, because I go to Roseville or Rancho Cordova and they give you half the money. Where are we doing it here?
We will have Marie McKeith from Public Works get back to you with the answer to all of these
Okay.
questions that you're going to give us.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry to ask this. I'm sorry. Do we have enough water for the building that's going on the other side of Highway 50?
We do, yes.
Okay. I attended the meeting a couple of months ago from the Water District, and one thing that I brought up that I'm really curious about is every year we have huge overflow of the dam, the water, and I asked him if we save it anywhere. He said no. And then he suggested that we dig wells. And I thought, what a shame to waste all that water. And he said, well, it's not during drought season. I said, that's not okay. That's a lot of water we're just throwing away. We built our first dam from the prisoners. That's why we have the prison here. I would suggest we think about doing that again. Okay. Who am I talking to? Who's
You're
answering
talking to
me?
us. Yeah,
Okay.
all of us up here.
Okay. I asked him if we save it anywhere. He said no.
Go ahead, keep going. That's just somebody on the line.
Okay. The other thing I'd really like to mention is, not too long ago, they added a second turn lane on golf links to East Natoma. And when they added the second lane, they put a line in that goes way up too high. And if you're in the second lane, it puts you almost on the sidewalk. I would suggest that they make that a little bit shorter so we're not going up on the sidewalk. That affects everybody in that second lane on golf links.
Our Public Works Director will look into that. Thanks.
Oh, good, thanks. Oh, I'm sorry. God. Okay, I think that's... I'm sorry to ask this, but the water in my house, which is the same as everybody else, I'm sure, leaves an orange ring. Can I ask what the orange ring is?
You know what? Because this is not agendized, we can't get into a big discussion with you. I do have your phone number here.
Good.
And I'm going to reach out to you tomorrow, and we
Thank
can
you.
set up a meeting for you to come to City Hall, and we'll make sure we have all of your questions
That's
answered.
wonderful.
Does that work?
Thank you very much. I
Okay.
appreciate it, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. All right, any other requests to speak from business from the floor?
You have no further requests to speak under this item.
All right, then if you could please call the first item.
Okay, your next item this evening will be your agenda updates.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk, and good evening, Madam Mayor, members of City Council. There is an additional information transmittal for item 15 on tonight's agenda. A copy has been previously provided to you, and it should be on the table in the back for the public as well.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Okay, your first item this evening is our scheduled presentation. This is the resolution of commendation for City Manager Elaine Anderson on the occasion of her retirement.
I'm going to ask Elaine to meet me down front, please. All right, folks. Well, good evening. We're going to take a few minutes to honor Elaine and celebrate her 20 years of service to the city. And I do want to begin by acknowledging a few people who are in the chambers tonight, starting with Elaine's family. We have her husband, Jay, son, Ryan, mother-in-law, Marla, sister-in-law, Kristen, and I know Paige is watching the webcast, so hello to you out there, Paige. I want to begin by saying thank you to Elaine's family. Being a city manager is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job. There are no days off, even when you take the day off. And so we know that there have been many Anderson family dinners and vacations and holidays and weekends that have been interrupted by phone calls and emails and texts and the occasional crisis. They do happen. And so we want to thank you for your patience and your understanding and for sharing Elaine with us for not only the past 20 years, but specifically the last 6 years. So also want to acknowledge Martha Lofgren, who was the city manager from 2000 to 2006. Obviously a very wise and intelligent woman because she is the person who hired Elaine to the city of Folsom. So we have a resolution and a gift to present to Elaine. I'm going to handle that. Then we are going to go back to our seats. I know we have a couple people in the audience who want to say a few words, give my colleagues an opportunity to speak, and then we're going to give Elaine the last word. So you're going to hear in this resolution that there are some unusual circumstances that Elaine dealt with during her tenure as city manager. A worldwide pandemic, the transition from at-large to by-district elections, the death of a sitting council member, and something that I think is pretty notable, Elaine experienced total turnover of the city council during her tenure as city manager. The 5 council members who selected her as city manager in 2018 are not the same 5 who have served the last few years. Barbara and Justin would actually be the 11th and 12th council members. And when you compare that to her predecessors, Everett Palmer had 1 seat turnover during his 6 years. Kerry Miller had 1 seat turnover during his 6 years. That level of turnover makes a very difficult job that much more difficult. 10 different city council members means 10 different personalities, 10 different styles and ways of doing things, 10 different ideas for how the city should run and what the priorities should be. And through all that, Elaine has been unfailingly professional and principled, and I think that speaks volumes about her character. If I had to come up with one word to describe Elaine's tenure as city manager, I would say dedicated. She has put her heart and soul into this role. One quick story to kind of underscore that point. Very early March 2020, just as we were hearing whispers of this thing called COVID-19, Elaine was actually hospitalized with an appendicitis. And she was in the hospital for a few days, and so I went to visit her. And I walk in, of course, Jay is there. Elaine is kind of propped up in her hospital bed. She's got her phone. She's replying to emails. She's answering texts. She's giving direction. She's literally running the city from her hospital room. And one of my colleagues at the time was particularly worried about Elaine. And this colleague said, she needs to rest. You are the mayor. You need to order her to go to bed. And I said, well, I agree. I hope she will get some rest. But I am not going to order a grown woman to go to bed. Even if I did, it wouldn't make any difference because Elaine is going to do what she's going to do. She is 100% dedicated to her job, to her employees, to the city, and to our residents. Thankfully, we all have been the beneficiaries of that dedication. And so with that, it is my honor to present this very large resolution of commendation for City Manager Elaine Anderson on the occasion of her retirement. Whereas Elaine has faithfully served the city of Folsom for nearly 20 years, and over the past 6+ years as city manager, providing exceptional leadership and commitment to the community. And whereas Elaine's career has spanned 35 years, including positions within the city of Sacramento, the state of California, and the private sector. and her experience and dedication have been instrumental in advancing the goals and priorities of the city of Folsom. And whereas during her tenure as city manager, Elaine demonstrated remarkable leadership, guiding the city through numerous challenges, including navigating the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, overseeing the transition to by-district elections, managing significant budgetary constraints, and leading the city through a complete turnover of the city council. And whereas Elaine's unwavering commitment and collaboration with staff ensured that City Hall remained open and continued to provide outstanding services to residents and businesses during the challenges of the pandemic, earning the deep appreciation of city leaders and the community alike. And whereas as city manager, Elaine exemplified an open and approachable leadership style, fostering collaboration and trust between city staff, elected officials, community members, and other stakeholders, and consistently promoted transparent and inclusive governance. And whereas under her leadership, the city of Folsom saw the completion of important projects, the construction of new city amenities such as Fire Station 34 and Prospector Park, and the historic welcome of Folsom Ranch's first resident, a milestone that was decades in the making. And whereas Elaine was responsible for managing a workforce of over 400 employees and a budget exceeding $250 million annually, skillfully balancing the complexities of overseeing essential services across diverse departments, including police, fire, water, sewer, public works, parks and recreation, information technology, finance, library, and community development, among others. And whereas Elaine became the city's leading answer person, a role she personified beautifully, taking on an impressive and unending variety of questions and issues ranging from why is there a random cone in the middle of Sutter Street to can we build that fire station next year, all with grace, patience, and just the right amount of humor. And whereas Elaine's commitment to public service, her deep understanding of the unique needs and aspirations of Folsom, and her leadership have had a lasting impact on the city organization, creating a legacy of community-centered governance that will endure for many years to come. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Folsom hereby commends Elaine Anderson for her many years of exemplary service, congratulates her on her well-earned retirement, and expresses its deepest gratitude for her lasting contributions to the City of Folsom and its residents. Proclaim this 10th day of December, 2024. Now, we do have a gift for Elaine as a small token of our appreciation. This is an original Brian Wallace piece of art. Brian is in the house tonight. Not yet. We pretty much gave him full artistic license, but we did make a couple requests. Number one, we asked that he feature City Hall in the work. Not the front of City Hall that the public typically sees, but the back of City Hall where employees tend to come and go. And we also asked that he include a late beloved member of your family who was a regular visitor to City Hall. And so we hope you love this as much as we love you. Thank you for everything, Elaine. Thank you, Ryan. I tied the knot too well.
My mother-in-law would like messy part lives, the staff, where we're doing all the work. And this is Mindy, who we lost just recently, who was Jay and I's third child. And she came to City Hall a lot, and we rescued her during the pandemic. And she got a fresh start of life, and we took breathe some life back into us, you know, as our ministers. So thank you, Brian. You have one. Thank you, everyone. I have some words.
We're going to give Elaine the last word in a few
Yeah.
minutes.
So we have a couple speakers, and then we'll move on to the family. So our first speaker will be Karen Holmes. Karen will be followed by Martha Lofgren.
Karen
Guess
and
who
Judy
we
Collins.
represent.
Yeah.
First, very nice to see the reshuffle. Congrats, y'all look great up there. But oh, Elaine, thank you so much for the respect that you gave us in the historic district. We had a party once when Everett Palmer retired, and you were in my restaurant and you said, "This is the living room of Folsom." And I've never forgotten that. And I was so grateful for that acknowledgement and to be part of something. Sorry, I'm so sappy. And to be part of something so magnificent. And Elaine, you just made it so special. The historic district is a better place because of your reign, if we shall call it that. And we're so grateful to have been a part of Folsom while you were here.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen, so much. Thank you. Thank you, Judy. Thanks for all you do.
She's a chicken.
Okay, Martha Lofgren.
Elaine, I just wanted to say thank you. The city couldn't have been in better hands during your tenure, and the word that comes to mind for me about your leadership style is compassion. And when you think about the pandemic, and now it's in our rearview mirror, we hardly remember it, but you rose to the occasion. You led the city, you led the city council at that time in many ways, and you were the right person at the right time. So thank you for all you've done for the city of Folsom. And I hope to hear from you that Wednesday morning, a couple months in the future, when you forgot that there was a city council meeting on Tuesday night. It takes a while, but the first time it happens, you're just going to say, "I'm free."
Thank you, Martha.
Okay, next we hear from Ryan Anderson, who will be followed by Paige Anderson.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Mayor Aquino, City Council members, Coach Kozlowski, City staff, City Manager Anderson, Mom. I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to speak this evening. For those who don't know me, I'm Ryan Anderson, son of City Manager Elaine Anderson. I spent my entire childhood here in Folsom and enjoy any chance I have to come home. As has been discussed, I'm joined tonight by my dad, Jay, grandmother, Marla, and Kristen, and Paige, my sister, is watching virtually and will speak shortly after me. Regrettably, I believe this is my first time ever speaking at a council meeting, though I can think of no better occasion than my mom's commendation to finally participate in public comment. I'm here to express my sincerest congratulations to my mom on her retirement from the city of Folsom, where she served for over 20 years across a 35-plus year professional career. My mom's time at City Hall was always a defining component of my upbringing here in Folsom, and all her council meetings every other Tuesday, and when was she coming home, and getting a call on our landline back then that Mom's coming home and we can order the pizza, and she's coming. But in all seriousness, it was always very encouraging to know she was diligently working to support our neighbors and make their lives better at the local government level. To watch her rise the ranks and ultimately assume the role of city manager was remarkable and filled me with such pride. I certainly wouldn't be able to count the number of times over the years I recited to friends and new professional colleagues that, my mom was the city manager of my hometown, and waited for their inevitable praise or impressed comments, and those always made me smile. My mom's leadership was always inspiring and a joy to observe. As Mayor Aquino noted, her honeymoon period as city manager was short-lived, as she immediately had to guide our city through the COVID pandemic just a year or two after taking the helm, where she brilliantly leveraged emergency supplies and personnel, all while recovering from appendicitis, which at the time I thought she was like the third person on the planet to get this thing called coronavirus, and so we got through that one, fortunately. I remember the instructional videos she made on how to create your own mask, and notably that she worked in office every single day, because if there was even a single essential employee at the city of Folsom who couldn't work from home, she wasn't going to work from home either. As we exited the COVID era, my mom worked tirelessly to support local businesses, produce sound financial recommendations, ensure city services were perpetuated and well-maintained, and execute thoughtful collaborations with city employees and council members. Her tenure as city manager helped illustrate to me the highest examples of poise and leadership that I certainly hope to emulate throughout my life and career. She was masterful in every sense of the word. I'd also like to take a moment to thank all of the city employees and the vast majority of the city council members who have served with my mom over the years, particularly for your friendship to her and dedication to serving Folsom and its residents. Steve, Krista, Allison, Stacy, Sarah, Mike, and so many others. I've met a good number of you over the years, and it's always a pleasure to interact. And it's also always a pleasure to watch you all discuss matters in your various areas of expertise on the City Council live stream meetings every other Tuesday, which I've been regularly viewing from my home in Los Angeles for the past year or so. And by the way, thanks to whoever puts those on, they've become a very amusing and enjoyable part of my week.
I was going to say, Ryan, you need a hobby.
What's that?
You need a hobby.
The Tuesday evenings, my activity is all of you. And just a final note here. My mom's career was always a tremendous priority for her, but her success was achieved in conjunction with raising a family, tending to mine and my sister's every need, and working with my dad to support us every step of the way through our childhood, multiple rounds of college education, and early adulthood. I somehow managed to get the best city manager and the best mom, so I couldn't be luckier. Mom, I'm so incredibly proud of you. Paige and Dad and the rest of our family are so incredibly proud of you, and we love you and can't wait to see you flourish in this next chapter of life as you have in every chapter to this point. Your recognition tonight is beyond deserved. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, Paige, whenever you're ready, go ahead. And I see that you're muted, so you might have to hit *6 to unmute.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Great. Good evening, everyone. I wish I could be there in person. I'm calling in from Santa Cruz. It's finals week for my students at UCSC, so I have to stay, unfortunately. And hello to my gorgeous mother. Really emotional. My name is Paige Anderson, and I am the eternally proud daughter of City Manager Elaine Anderson. Mom, I don't know if I will ever be able to fully articulate what you mean to me and our family. As a young woman, I understand my worth, personally and professionally, because I have had the lifelong privilege to watch you flourish as one of the few female city managers, and like Ryan, I love to brag to my friends and fellow coworkers about your position. You have led with compassion and empathy during unprecedented times that have included a global pandemic, pressing social justice issues, while taking care of your own family. You are truly the epitome of strong female leadership, and I'm constantly in awe of the way you lead with grace and strength on a day-to-day basis, whether it is running the entire city or taking the time to reassure me of my worth as a young woman. It's been hard for me lately to see past the darkness of this world. You constantly remind me that the authentic version of myself is the light that will shine through that darkness. I want you to know that you also have that light, and I have learned that valuable lesson from you. I am so incredibly proud of you for getting to this point in your career and your life. I will finish with this. You deserve every good thing in this world, Mom. You are eternally worthy, and I love you forever and always. I know Grandpa John is looking down and smiling at you with pride. Love, Paigey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Paigey.
Thank you for being here, Ryan and Paige. I think for all of us who have children in this room, we can only hope that our children will say as nice things about us as you all have said about your mother. I know some of my colleagues would like to say a few words. I'm going to start with Councilmember Kozlowski.
Okay, so a million years ago, I met Jay because Jay and my wife both volunteered to be yard duties at Oak Chan Elementary School when we had kids there. And the first time I met him was after I had heard the story of Mr. J and how amazing he was from my wife several times and my daughter shortly after that also. And so I came stumbling up to school one day looking for my spouse and encountered Jay, ended up talking to him for a while. I'm like, wow, this guy is great. What a sweetheart. And at the time, it didn't connect for me right away, but my other job is coaching the track team up at Vista Del Lago, and at the time Ryan was a freshman in high school, and I had him on that track team, and eventually put two and two together. And then later that year, Ryan, through extreme effort, qualified for a participation certificate. Okay. Now Ryan and Jay, Paige and Elaine live about 2 blocks from where I used to live in the Parkway, and I delivered this, magnanimous presentation to all of the kids that had gotten the participation certificate. Handed Ryan his. He thanked me, shook hands, and the banquet closed up, and that was the end of it. For some reason, I think Elaine was probably not paying close attention because he was walking around with the certificate. But I got to meet Elaine the next day because I made the fateful error of spelling Anderson S-O-N. Okay. So that's when I knew that Mrs. Anderson was a real stickler for details, right? So fast forward about 6 years. Ryan has had an exemplary time in high school. Elaine, surprisingly, was a little bit of a helicopter mom, but not too much, and was at all the track meets and had a great time with all of us. I managed to get them a new certificate that was spelled correctly. 6 years later, I'm sitting in the audience while I was running for city council, trying to make sure I knew what was like the hot action that was going on that year. And our city council colleagues before us, those 5 people that had been on for a long time, chose Elaine to take over as city manager, and I was like, perfect, somebody who really is able to check on the details, and somebody who's got a beautiful family and a lovely husband, and really lives here in Folsom and is really part of the community, and I was delighted by that. So I sort of half joking last night said that I personally think I'm one of the most outrageously fortunate people on earth. A part of that for the last 6 years is getting to share this time here at City of Folsom with you. So thank you very much for everything. All right.
I'll learn how to work the button here eventually. So the first 2 meetings have been great. But honestly, I've had the pleasure of interacting with you a lot over the years, mainly because I've been the annoying resident, calling you about various issues, letting you know about things that weren't updated on the website, being a pain on different commissions, and I have always been impressed. Sometimes it would be a Friday or a Saturday, and you would be getting back with me in the evening. So I also want to thank your family, because I know you didn't have to, and you were always getting the answers back to the residents. I'm sure I was not the only resident that was a pain, oftentimes requesting a lot of information from you, or just asking why the city was going about it. And if you didn't have the answer, you would work with your staff and get that answer over to me in a very timely fashion. And so I just appreciate all you've done for our residents over the years. I got to see it a lot, and I know many folks view you the same way as the person they can go to and get the honest answer from. So thank you for that. Thank you for your service. I'm sad that it'll only be 2 meetings I get to enjoy with you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, if there's no better evidence of who a person is and their character than the way their family talks about them. For you to have raised such two beautiful, I'm assuming your daughter or your sister is beautiful, better looking than you, maybe, yeah. There's no better, I think, joy as a mom too, to hear that feedback. And so what an honor for all of us to be able to hear that from your kids. And so I think there's no bigger legacy for you than that, and I'm just proud that we all got to hear it too. So thank you for your service to the community. It was very long, and you're dedicated to Folsom, and I'm sure you'll be dedicated to Folsom going forward. And keep an eye on us. As Martha said, I do hope after 3 or 4 months, I give it longer than just a couple months, that you're able to relax in your own time and enjoy more family time. So thank you for everything.
You weren't the only one, Justin, that was calling Elaine with questions and asking for responses. And she was always very efficient at getting back, had the information that I was asking for. And I don't know that, I've been very active in Folsom a long time. I think you've been one of the most responsive city managers that we've had during the time that I've been here. And I really appreciate all of the work that you've gone to get back to residents and to give us updated information. I've been particularly impressed with how you've managed to be so calm and thoughtful in the face of adversity, sitting up here, or I'm sure sometimes sitting in your office and receiving phone calls, because you've always been very kind and thoughtful in your responses. I was happy to see you out jogging on the Humbug Willow Creek Trail. I was going much slower with a pair of binoculars looking for birds, and hope to run into you again out there. I think my daughter knows as well as your kids what it's like to sit here in the back of City Hall or wait for a mom to come home from a meeting. I think that our kids have learned a lot from those kinds of activities and experiences. So I'm really going to miss seeing you here and hopefully see you out on the trail. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Elaine, we're going to give you the last word.
Thank you, Mayor. I think one of the most important things I've learned in my career is to always have a few notes to refer to just in case you find yourself unexpectedly emotional. So thank God for my notes. And I'm going to do my best to get out a few coherent thoughts after hearing so many beautiful words tonight. I've been working full-time since I was 20 years old, and it truly feels surreal to be accepting a retirement commendation. The years truly flew by in the very best way. My career does span 36 years, and I've spent 20 of those here in Folsom, and that is one of the biggest blessings and honors of my lifetime, to be able to serve the city that my husband and I have called home for over 33 years. So first, a few thank yous, if I may. Mayor Aquino, thank you. You are amazing. You made my job as city manager so much easier in your every word, your every action, your every collaboration. and your every initiative. You do the hard work for the people, you do your research, you listen to and value staff, and you are incredibly smart, kind, and collaborative. We share a premature, heartbreaking loss of wonderful dads. And I know that your dad, a fellow public servant and elected official, will be so very proud of you. So keep doing great things. Councilmember Kozlowski, thank you. You are innovative, smart, and strategic. I particularly enjoyed this last year with you serving as mayor. It allowed us to have near daily conversations in City Hall. We share a bit of a snarky sense of humor, maybe a dark sense of humor, and I swear you made me laugh at least once a day, and city managers sure need some laughs here and there. You also made me think a lot and use my brain power with your creativity and your entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you for your friendship, partnership, and kindness. All city employees, you are extraordinary, and many of you are so unsung. Know that I see you, each and every one of you. You make the city go round day in and day out, and that's not easy, and it often goes unnoticed. I notice, I am thankful, and I will miss every one of you. My executive management team, could I ask you to please stand? Those of you that are here. These are my department heads, my direct reports. They are also my friends. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your amazing brains. Thank you for your kind hearts. Thank you for surrounding me in the security of your expertise. I am indebted to you. Thank you. Michelle Kasama, could I ask you to please stand? Have you all met Michelle? Michelle's official title is Executive Assistant to the City Manager, but that doesn't possibly capture what Michelle actually does and what she means to me. Michelle, you are my cherished friend. You are my chief organizer, provider of nutrition and beverages on the longest days, literal holder of my back because you always had it, gatekeeper, liaison, communicator, intuitor, event planner, and all-around magician. Thanks for interrupting your rather calm career in public works to head to the city manager's office and take me on. I will remember all you gave to me for the rest of my life. Martha Lofgren. Martha is, of course, a former Folsom city manager and now consultant extraordinaire. But to me, Martha is so much more than that. Martha hired me 20 years ago, as was said, but it's not that simple. Martha chose me, built me up, mentored me, listened to me, taught me, set an example for me as a fellow woman balancing a big career alongside raising children. And even up to this moment, serves as a treasured friend and counselor, helping me to move through the stages and the big feelings of retiring. Martha, thanks for building women leaders like me up. It matters, and I am indebted to you. You are my friend for life. I will always be here for you just as you have always been there for me. Ryan Anderson, my beautiful son. I was enjoying a perfectly nice career as assistant city manager when the city manager position became available about 6.5 years ago. As I contemplated whether to pursue the job, it was my then 20-year-old son who had the foresight and maturity and kindness to stop me dead in my tracks in my ruminating with a simple, "Why not you, Mom?" Do you know that he often watches these meetings live? He does that not because he's fascinated with all of you or the subject matter, sorry, but he does it as an act of love and support for his mom. And when I'd leave late night meetings, I would inevitably get a text from Ryan saying, "Hey Mom, I'm up, call me on your way home if you feel like it." Ryan, thank you, I love you. Paige Anderson, my beautiful daughter, we call her Paigey. Paigey, your emotional intelligence is off the charts, and I have been the lucky beneficiary more times than I could ever count of you lifting me up through funny memes and kind words and strings of emojis, not to mention hugs and peaceful walks along the ocean. You are busily building a career of public service yourself, and I have sought to set an example for you of what leadership looks like, particularly for a young woman. And yet, remarkably, you flip the script and often teach me. Paigey, thank you. I love you. Marla Anderson and Kristen Thomas, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Again, these titles can't possibly capture what these two women mean to me. They are the very definition of unconditional love, embracing me as their own almost from the moment I started dating my husband, Jay. Marla and Kristen, thank you for loving me and supporting me always. I love you more than I could adequately express. And saving the very best for last, Jay Anderson, my husband, Folsom's first gentleman. Here is the true unsung hero. Jay, you were there for me literally every step of the way. The highs, the lows, the excitement, the exhaustion. There is literally no one else in my life who has such a high get-it factor of all this extraordinary job entails. You loved me right through it. You held me up, you cheered me on, you listened, you put up with me even when I was super tired and cranky. You waited up for me, you are the nicest man on the planet, and you are mine, and that is God's blessing to me. I look forward to decades of continued love, commitment, friendship, new adventures, and a gift of more time together. Jay, thank you. I love you. And finally, some words of advice for really anyone, and particularly leaders. Just as we all know, it doesn't make you a strong leader to be unkind. Know that it doesn't somehow make you a weak leader to be kind. Remember to build people up. Please don't tear them down. Please remember that in the end, we're all just fellow human beings. We are all just God's children. I'll close with one of my favorite quotes from anthropologist Jane Goodall. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So thank you, Folsom. You are in my heart, and you have my heart forever.
Well, thank you, everyone. I am not going to ask him to say a few words because that would be a tough act to follow, but I do think this is an appropriate time to introduce our interim city manager, Dan Haverty, former Folsom Fire Chief, who has agreed to fill some very big shoes for the next month. So thank you, Dan, very much for your service. All right. Well, Anderson family, you are welcome to stay for the entire meeting. It's going to be riveting, but if you want to leave, this is the opportune time. Otherwise, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the next item.
Okay, Stacy, I'm sorry, you have to go next. Scheduled presentation number 2. This is the city, I doubt it, city manager's fiscal year 23-24 fourth quarter and fiscal year 24-25 first quarter financial report.
I don't think I've ever been emotional starting this quarterly presentation. Okay, well, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I'm Stacy Tamani, Chief Financial Officer, and tonight I'm presenting the unaudited results for fiscal year 23-24, and then also the first financial update for fiscal year 24-25 for your first quarter, which is July through September. So first we'll start with the fiscal year 23-24 unaudited year-end results. We're still in the middle of the audit process right now, but I don't expect any significant changes from these amounts. What we're expecting here, and we'll just kind of go through the top line, is for revenues to finish the year at about $119 million. That does include $3 million of ARPA revenue that was recognized this year, and so of course that revenue is not ongoing. We expect total expenditures to be finalized at about $115 million. And then the third line that you have here is that we have expenses that were approved in the last fiscal year, but were not paid for by the end of the year. So they're not in your total expenditures number. And this happens every year. And so these are included in a purchase order, and they have to be reported as assigned fund balance and held into the next budget year. So I just wanted to show the difference that we needed to add to your assigned fund balance in order to cover those expenses for next year. And so the total change to your unassigned fund balance is projected to be at $1.98 million by the end of the year. The fiscal year 23-24 budget included a 1% contingency amount, And if it's not used, it rolls into fund balance, and that's how the city maintains that fund balance as a percentage of expenditures, because we want to be within that council's approved 17 to 20% range as our expenditures increase. So we always have that 1% contingency in the budget. So that contingency did roll this year, and that makes up most of that increase to the unassigned fund balance. But we also had a large interest revenue accounting entry that we had to make this year due to the way the market was as of June 30th. We always mark our investments at up to market value, but this year it increased our interest revenue more than I had projected back in the third quarter. So that makes up the difference in what we had projected at the end of the third quarter to what we have now. So once we do that, we'll be having an unassigned fund balance projected to be finalized at $24.9 million, or 21.67% of expenditures. And we had projected that we'd be at about 21% of expenditures. So mostly because of that interest revenue adjustment, we're up from what we had projected. This 21.67%, and I have a note here at the bottom, doesn't account for moving the fund balance that's over your 20% into that capital fund that the city council approved that we'll be doing. So we'll be transferring to that capital fund anything over the 20%, and it's projected to be at about $1.9 million. Once we do that, this is going to go down by the $1.9 million, and your percentage of expenditures will be at that 20%. So we'll take a look at how the revenues ended the year. We have your all tax-related revenue on the top line there. We were short by $676,000 from what we had originally budgeted. Go through some of the major categories here. Your property tax came in about $950,000 above budget. This primarily relates to supplemental property tax that we receive. This fluctuates year to year, and our consultants don't even give us an estimate for that just because of the fluctuation. Sales tax was about $1.6 million short of budget, and we've been talking about that all year, so that was not a big surprise. And then your TOT tax just a little bit higher than budget. All non-tax revenue came in about $6 million above the original budget. We'll go through the categories here. All year long, we were discussing development fees and building permit fees being over budget, but that comes along with increased expenditures on the other side as they provide the services that this revenue paid for. And then we also see Parks and Recreation coming in slightly higher than projected, and again, that's partially offset by higher expenditures as well. The fourth line here is something that did surprise us at the end of the year. Ambulance fees kind of took off in the fourth quarter. They came in higher than projected. They collected about $2.2 million in the last quarter of the year, and the trend had been about $1.2 million a quarter. So we're going to keep looking at that trend and see if it continues or if it was just something that was a little bit of an anomaly in that last quarter. And then the last item here, you're seeing this interest revenue, the large adjustment that we had to make to mark our investments to market this year. And I just did one more slide on the investments so you can see kind of what happens with our investment interest in the general fund. We make this mark-to-market adjustment. Some years we have a very big negative. In 2022, it was down $951,000. We've had years where it's about $500,000. So this year, quite a big difference, having to mark it up to the $2.9 million, and it's a significant adjustment. So I just wanted to point that out because it's not something that we have had in the past, and it's not something that we can guarantee at all for the future. It just depends on where the market is on June 30th compared to the value of our investments. So here we have the expenditure figures for the end of the year, 23-24, for each of the departments. Nothing unexpected here. We have general government, fire, library, public works, and non-department expenses all coming in slightly below budget. And then police, community development, and park and recreation coming in above budget. And again, community development and parks and recreation have that additional revenue to offset this. So that is the end of the general fund results. We'll talk a little bit about the risk management fund, how they ended the fiscal year. These are the unaudited results here with operating revenues at $19.9 million and operating expenses at $22.3 million. And again, this fund is the fund that we use to account for the cost of the city's insurance programs. So that's medical, dental, vision insurance, workers' compensation insurance, and liability insurance for the city. For the past few years, we've had a planned use of these reserves, which meant that we transferred less into the general fund, and that's the revenue number that you see, than what it actually cost to provide those benefits to the city. So this allowed us to keep insurance expenses pretty stable in the general fund. although the cost of these programs were increasing. So we've been doing this for a number of years now, and as the general fund was getting tighter. And for fiscal year 23-24, we had projected to use about $500,000, but it came in more than we had expected because of the Kaiser rates going up about 25% last year. So again, we're using about $1 million of this unrestricted net position in this fund one more time. You can see how the expenses have increased. Active employee health went from 7.6 million to 8.2 in 1 year. Retiree health from 4.8 million to 5.2. Workers' comp from 2.7 to 3.3, and our liability insurance from 3.4 million to 4.3 million. And so one more slide on the risk management fund here, just showing the impact it's had on the net position. We had about $9 million in reserves in fiscal year 19-20, and we're down to that $3.7 million mark. So it's not a trend that can continue in this fund. It's going to eventually start impacting the general fund. So next we'll move on to our general fund summary into fiscal year 24-25. So I'll take you through this chart here. First, we have revenues on the top line, and on the left-hand side, you have your original budget of $115 million. And as we go across the top line, you have approved budget amendments of $74,000. So right now, we have an approved amended budget of $115.4 million. We are projecting that revenue will come in slightly higher than that at about $115.9 million by the end of the year. For expenditures, you started with $117 million as your approved budget, and I did a sum there so you can see that $1.7 million below the $117 million is the use of fund balance that the City Council approved this year. So revenues did not equal the total approved budget expenditures. It was expected that we'll use $1.7 million of fund balance this year. And so if we go across that expenditures line item there, then you have the $6.7 million of the encumbrance rolls. It's a large number this year because we have many ambulances and fire vehicles that are on hold waiting, and so we keep reserving those funds so that when the bill does come in, when those vehicles are delivered, we will be able to pay the bills. And then there's some other different contracts or items that were approved, have purchase orders throughout the department that make up the rest of that. So that will not affect your unassigned fund balance, though, because that's all reserved in your assigned fund balance for when those bills come due. As we go across, then you have that $74,000 that was approved budget amendments. So right now, your amended budget, including that encumbrance budget roll, is at $123.9 million, and we're expecting that we will have some savings, so expecting it to be at $123.7 million for total expenditures. So that would affect your unassigned fund balance by about $900,000 and leave you at $24 million or 19.4% as a percentage of expenditures. But as I mentioned, when the audit is complete, we'll be transferring that amount that's over the 20% into your capital fund per your policy. So when we do move that $1.9 million, this balance is going to go down, and we will be at about 17.9% as a percentage of expenditures. So getting down to the lower part of your range of 17 to 20%. When we look at the unassigned fund balance graphically, we were trending up through fiscal year 19. And of course, we used some fund balance in fiscal year 20 to get through the impacts of COVID-19. We then recovered and hit a high point of about 23.69% in fiscal year 22. But since then, the fund balance as a percentage of expenditures has been dropping. And once that transfer is made, again, we'll be down at the 17.9% mark, which isn't noted on this slide. As we take a look at general fund revenue, we have our current budget for fiscal year 25 on the left, our projections on the right. We're so early in the year that property tax hasn't been received at all, so we're projecting property tax to be right at budget at $45 million. Sales tax is projected at budget at this point at $29 million. We did have our first quarterly update with our sales tax consultant, and they gave us a projected range for sales tax of a possible low point of $26.8 million or a possible high point of $29.5 million. So right now we've only received 1 month of sales tax as of this quarter end, so we're leaving it at budget for right now, but we'll see how it goes. For TOT revenue, we're projected to come in at budget. And then charges for services are projected to come in at about $13.9 million, so slightly higher than budget, and everything else pretty much right at their budget. For expenditures, we are projecting to end the year, like I said, a little bit below budget, and most of that has to do with salary and benefit savings due to vacant positions that we had through the first quarter. So that could grow if we continue to have those vacancies through the year. And then the last slide I have for you here is just an update on your water, wastewater, and solid waste funds. They're all projected to have their revenues and expenses at budget, nothing significantly off at this point. And working capital for water, wastewater, and solid waste are all in good shape as we move forward. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Stacy? Councilmember Leary?
No, thank you.
This time? Okay.
No.
Councilmember Rohrbach? No. Okay. Vice Mayor Rathel?
So the range you just gave for sales tax, just making sure I heard you correctly, our budget number is much closer to the high end of the range
It is.
than it is to the low end of the range.
Yes.
Do we have a contingency plan in place? Is it large enough difference past that 1% contingency that we should start planning for that?
I don't think so. The 1% contingency was a little over $1 million, and last year we, were short by about $1.6 million. I guess as we move forward and have the second quarter report, that might be something we'll have to look into, is what does the number seem to be trending to. The consultant has kind of gone up and down with their projections, so the one that we had in the budget was from them as well, also with a range. So I could come back to you next quarter and say, well, now their low point is 28.2. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Shop local, right? Councilmember Rohrbach?
So I'm not sure what page it is, but it's the one where you're showing the change to total fund balance of $1.7 million. Yep.
Yeah.
So we just, approved the 24-25 budget. The amount of money, the appropriated funds that we have appropriated don't equal 1.7. Can you explain where this increase in the expenses went up by 1.7?
So the total approved budget that the city council approved was $117 million. And then the projected revenues were $115 million. So the difference was the $1.7 million. So that was what the city council approved to use for fund balance, was $1.7 million.
I thought the budget that we approved, the revenue and expenses were equal.
No, the revenues were at $115 million, and then there were a few items that we had called out that were going to be used from fund balance, and that equaled $1.7 million in total.
When were those items called out?
In the budget process, in the budget approval process, and noted in the budget document too. Lined out of what it was going to be. Part of it was the park, and there were a couple other
Kids
items.
Play Park, I think.
Because it came from, okay, got it. Because it came from the unassigned fund.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
No questions, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. If you'd like to call the next item, please.
Okay, your next item this evening is consent calendar. You do have a request from Joanne Brosh on number 15 to pull it if her question isn't answered. Was your question answered?
Okay.
All right,
we'll
so
get to-
one moment,
yeah.
Joanne, we're going to address the rest of the consent calendar first.
Anybody else have an item they would like to pull for discussion?
Item number 10.
Item number 10. Anyone else? All right. So
I'll move approval of the consent calendar absent items 10 and 15.
Second.
all right. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Rathel?
Yes.
Rohrbach?
Yes.
And Aquino.
Yes. Takes us to item 10.
All right, item number 10 is resolution number 11299. This is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a certification form for the Folsom Fire Department to participate in a Medi-Cal intergovernmental transfer program with the Department of Healthcare Services for reimbursement of something services for the service period of January 1 through December 31, and to make transfers not to exceed $410,800 in appropriation of funds. Vice Mayor Rathel?
Could I ask Chief Cassano to come down?
Is your question what the heck?
Yes.
What do all
That
those
is
letters stand for?
basically my question is, and I'm just really questioning what the net is, right? I understand we bill a lot in ambulance services to Medi-Cal, but this looks like an optional payment. We're obviously struggling with some financial challenges. So when I see optional payment, I'd like to know that our optional payment is bringing more money back to the city than we're donating to our wonderful state government.
Oh, excellent question. I'm Ken Casano, the fire chief, Madam Mayor, council members. Yes, it is it's a complex program that we're in, but to break it down as simply as possible, we give money to the state to receive matching funds federally for Medi-Cal ambulance transports, and we do end up getting more money back than what we're giving in. A current Medi-Cal transport, you only get so much money. With this program, which we've been participating really since, I believe, 2009, it used to be just the GEMT program, and now there's all kinds of other acronyms, and I'd have to read it again to remember them all, but to make it as simple as possible, we pay money and we get more money back for transports that we have.
And when I looked at it, it looked like that was fine as long as all the agencies were kicking in their optional payment. And I guess that's just kind of what I wanted to hear assurance of is we're not the only, government still kicking in our optional payment and everybody else has stopped. There's no questions of solvency of this program going forward or anything.
Yeah, no, most agencies are participating in this because it is significant what we get back more than what we're giving. So,
thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Would you like to?
I'm happy to move item number 10.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski? Leary?
Yes.
Raythel?
Yes.
Rohrbach?
Yes.
And Aquino.
Yes.
Okay, so item 15 was the other item pulled. Joanne, if you want to come on down while I read the title. So item 15 is resolution number 11309. This is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a development impact fee deferral agreement with Vintage at Folsom LP.
So as I read this, hi.
Hello.
Mayor Aquino, Vice Mayor Rachel. As I read through this staff report, my question was, if we approve this, if you approve this deferral, were these $3 million part of the projected 24-25 budget, and how is that going to impact your current budget if you're deferring it into next year's budget? So just for your own thought process, how do we, if we keep giving deferrals on impact fees, number one, I'm big on making sure that impact fees actually cover the impacts, but if we're deferring those, how are we impacting our 24-25 budget?
Thank you. We can ask Stacy or Pam to address that.
This is an impact fee that gets paid at the time of building permit as development progresses. The only option that the city council has within the municipal code is to defer the payment timeline for the payment of those fees for affordable housing projects. And that's something we've done periodically over the last few years. It doesn't have an impact on the budget per se, so it's not something that's included as a projection or estimate of impacts. It just covers the cost of services as development is implemented. So on day one of a new development project, all the services that are required aren't necessarily needed to be paid for at the time. The deferral by a 15-month period does not have a significant impact, which is why that was the period that was set up in the ordinance.
Okay. Any other questions on item 15? So no impact on the budget is the short answer. Okay. Do we have a motion to
Move approval of resolution 11309.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Raythel?
Yes.
Rohrbach?
Yes.
And Aquino.
Yes. Next item.
Okay, that takes us to our first public hearing item of the evening. That's going to be item number 18, Sacramento County Transportation Fee Program Update. You have two resolutions before you this evening. Resolution number 11304. This is a resolution adopting the Measure A Sacramento Countywide Transportation Mitigation Fee Program 2024 Nexus Study Update Report. And the second resolution is number 11305. This is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the amended August 24 agreement on operating protocols between the city and the STA related to the Sacramento County-wide Transportation Mitigation Fee Program.
Good evening, Mr. Chance.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Congratulations, council members, our esteemed city manager. Ryan Chance, engineering manager for the city of Folsom, Public Works Department. I'm already struggling here. There we go. Okay, there we go. So this public hearing is essentially an update to the Sacramento County Transportation Mitigation Fee Program, which is also known as Measure A, a sales tax measure that we primarily use for road maintenance in the city. And Sacramento Transportation Authority manages this program, and as part of some recent Nexus study they've done, we have to enter into this agreement to continue receiving these Measure A funds. So I'll give a little bit of background here on the Measure A itself. It started in 1988. Countywide voters approved it, and it's a half-cent sales tax. In 2004, voters approved a 30-year extension of Measure A, which will continue it out until 2039. So at that point, we'll see what will happen, but quite a few more years left on it. And recently, in June of 2024, the Sacramento Transportation Authority Governing Board adopted a new Nexus study that outlines development fees and requires us to enter into an agreement with them on the operating protocols, which basically outline how we receive these Measure A funds. So, as I said, it's a choice to pass these resolutions, but if we don't do it, we will not receive Measure A funds moving forward, which would be detrimental to our pavement management and other programs we have in Public Works. There's a lot of information. It was included in the packet tonight also. And these are the fees, what they were previously and what they're going to be starting in January of 25. They were the Nexus study. The goal was to kind of right-side some of these fees based on the size of the development, and that's why you'll see some changes. If you look at it long enough, you start asking yourself why certain fees went down. Well, those are based on square footages, so larger properties will have higher fees. I don't know how long you want to look at this here. But,
no, go ahead.
Okay. So, that concludes the presentation. It's, like I said, it's something we rely heavily on, and I hope you guys value that.
Any questions for Ryan?
Just for clarity, the fees described in the Nexus study, those are supplemental to the sales tax that everybody pays?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Measure A specific sales tax.
Got it. Okay.
Anyone else? All right, then we are going to open the public hearing. Do we have any requests to speak?
You have no request to speak on this item.
Anyone in the audience dying to come down? Come on down, Mr. Holderness.
This is all you're doing, Bob.
Mayor and members, Robert G. Holderness, Folsom resident. I just want to mention one thing. This is return to source monies. In other words, when these fees are levied by the STA, they are nevertheless spent in the city of Folsom. And it raises the question, why would a county bureaucracy, namely the STA staff, be levying a fee for construction in Folsom? Why don't we just leave it here? And the answer is the people so mandated. The people of the county, both in 1988 and again in 2004, mandated that the STA have a fee separate and apart from whatever fees the city of Folsom might levy. And it's a useful supplement to our fee program, and it's a very, very useful source of money. So I just want to explain that because it's not necessarily clear. And congratulations to the new members, the new mayor, the new vice mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other requests to speak on this item? Then we will close the public hearing, and we will need two separate motions for the different resolutions, please.
I'm happy to move resolution number 11304.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Rathel?
Yes.
Rohrbaugh?
Yes.
And Aquino?
Yes.
And I'm happy to move resolution number 11305.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Rathel?
Yes.
Rohrbaugh?
Yes.
And Aquino?
Yes, and just for my colleagues, I believe the STA board was previously, that seat was held by Councilmember Rodriguez. So if anybody finds this subject matter particularly interesting and has a desire to represent us going forward, please make that known in the future. All right, next item, please.
Okay, your next public hearing item this evening is item number 19. This is the Hillsborough Area 40 large lot subdivision map, which is in the vicinity of Prairie City Road and Mangini Parkway in the Folsom Plan area. The item before you tonight will be resolution number 11308, resolution to adopt an addendum to the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan EIR-EIS and approve a large lot tentative subdivision map for the Hillsborough Area 40 large lot subdivision map project.
It's coming. Good evening.
So good evening, Mayor Aquino and City Council. Jessica Brandt with Community Development, and I'll be presenting the Hillsborough Area 40 Large Lot Tentative Subdivision Map Project to you tonight. The project is located in the vicinity of Prairie City Road and Mangini Parkway within the Folsom Plan area south of Highway 50. The project site has multiple specific plan designations, including single-family high density, multifamily high density, park, and open space. This is just an aerial view of the project site. It is an approximately 148 acre vacant parcel, and it is surrounded by undeveloped area on all sides. Of note for this particular site, a good portion of the site is located within the Aerojet Superfund site and is known as the Area 40 area of that site. After City Council approval of the Hillsborough General Plan Amendment and Specific Plan Amendment project in 2016, Area 40 underwent investigation and remediation. Aerojet jointly held community workshops with the California Department of Toxic Substances Control regarding the cleanup process on the site. They also provided the City Council with a presentation about the approved remediation plan in 2018. They're now at a stage in the remediation plan where they can move forward with division and sale of the property. The proposed large lot map is the first step in that process. Some remediation of groundwater is ongoing on the site, but does not affect the areas expected to develop within the project site after subsequent small lot mapping or entitlement. The applicant's representative, Roy Brewer, can provide the council with a more in-depth briefing of the status of the Area 40 cleanup efforts in relation to the Hillsborough project after staff's presentation if desired. So this slide shows the proposed large lot map, and I'll have another slide that shows it overlaying the specific plan land use designations as well. But for this slide here, the map consists of 7 lots that would be for future sale, development, or transfer to the city. The applicant is not seeking any development rights with this large lot map, and a note will be placed on the final map to that effect. Further entitlements, either small lot maps in the case of proposed lots 1 and 2 on the northern side and 7 at the southwest corner, or design reviews for proposed lots 5 and 6 would be required. Lots 3 and 4 would be transferred to the city for open space preservation and development of the Community Park West. The large lot map is also conditioned to require dedication of rights of way consistent with the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan for the streets shown at final map. And then a condition has been included that requires development of a backbone infrastructure plan when further subdivision or development of the large lots takes place. I do want to note that this does not pertain to the subsequent large lot final map submitted in substantial conformance with this approval. It would be for subsequent mapping efforts. Finally, the final map will include a note regarding a deed restriction on a portion of Lot 5 to accommodate a minimum of 320 units of restricted affordable housing. And we'll also have a note showing the area, either a note or some sort of delineation of the areas that are subject to ongoing remediation through the Area 40 remediation plan. So as stated earlier, the project area includes a range of residential densities, including single-family high density, multifamily high density, open space, and the future Community Park West. And you can see what is kind of colloquially called the remediation bean shown in proposed Lot 4. None of the specific plan land use designations are proposed to change with this application. As you can see, the proposed large lots roughly correspond with the specific plan land use designations. The applicant has stated that they anticipate future small lot maps will further subdivide consistent with the specific plan. And if not, either specific plan amendments or minor administrative modifications will be required. Of note, one of the first ones will be, let's see if I can get the pointer to work. Nope.
There you go.
So one of the first ones will actually be submitted shortly, should this large lot tentative map be approved shortly after the approval, that would request that in proposed Lot 3, this small sliver of single-family residential would actually convert to open space land use designation. And that would be in keeping with this ultimate proposed Lot 3 configuration here. That is allowed under the minor administrative modification process. Staff has looked at that. And it would remove the split land use designation on the site. So staff expects that to come in shortly after this review. And again, the applicant could talk about that some more if you would like. One of the things also to note is that your City Council on October 27th, 2024 did approve a resolution to change the land use designation of specific properties in the specific plan and to increase the allowed residential capacity for the plan area. These amendments were part of the lovely named City of Folsom 2035 General Plan Amendments for Increased Residential Capacity Project, which was a city effort, as you know, to address the state housing element mandates and address the need for housing for all income levels in Folsom. And so, as I had mentioned earlier, there are two sub-areas of the Hillsborough Area 40 map that were affected by this action. Those are proposed lots 5 and 6. And specifically, Lot 5 will be deed restricted, and it will be required to produce 320 units of restricted affordable housing. And then the number of dwelling units that were allocated to Lot 6 was actually reduced from 246 to 240. So the change in the land use designation for Lot 5 that was included is reflected in here and in the summary of the land uses that they're showing as well. So as you can imagine, with the remediation and everything, this site has had significant environmental review and assessment. So this slide kind of gives you a flavor for that. There was a final EIR EIS that was approved with the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan in 2011, followed by a final remedial action plan for Area 40 that was approved in 2018. The Hillsborough Project Addendum included, or the Hillsborough project included an addendum to the specific plan, EIR, EIS in 2016. And then there was the increased residential capacity project, which also had a supplemental EIR in 2024. And then to cap that all off, we have an addendum that was prepared for this particular large lot map that reiterated that the potential impacts of the project continue to be adequately addressed by the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan EIR, EIS, the Hillsborough SPA addendum, and the subsequent EIR for the increased residential capacity project. Okay. So with that, staff has determined that the proposed large lot subdivision map does comply with all city requirements, as well as with the requirements of the State Subdivision Map Act. It is consistent with the general plan and the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan. The Planning Commission recommended or considered this project at its October 30th, 2024 meeting and unanimously recommended the City Council approve. And staff at this time is recommending that the City Council approve Resolution 11308 to adopt the addendum to the Folsom Plan Area Specific Plan Final EIR EIS and approve the large lot tentative subdivision map for the Hillsborough Area 40 project. I do want to note that the applicant did spot an error in one of the conditions of approval. Condition of approval 15 has an incorrect date for starting a timeline. Get to that. Applicants can protest fees under the specific plan, development impact fees, and the condition 15, second paragraph, first sentence should say, any protest to such for all fees, dedications, reservations, or other exactions imposed on this project will begin on the date of final approval, which should say December 10th, 2024. Or otherwise shall be governed by the terms of Amendment Number 1 to the ARDA. And with that, staff's presentation is complete.
Is this your first time presenting to council?
It is not, but it's maybe my third.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, very well done.
Thank you.
I'm going to start on this side.
I
Any
don't
questions?
have any questions. I
Okay.
feel well up to date.
Okay.
Vice Mayor Rathel?
Thanks for clarifying that little sliver of single family that I had questions over. So
Yeah.
thank you, Ms. Brandt.
Councilmember Leary?
Yeah, I just want to see if you can point out on that map where the proposed park site is.
Let's see if I can go back here. You're talking about the Community Park West?
Community park that's planned.
So that's all of the sort of lime green would be Community Park West.
Okay, and that is the area that has undergone the extensive cleanup and is still
correct. Yes,
still continuing.
Yeah,
I have other questions for the applicant, so I'll save them for later. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Mr. Brewer, you want to come on up? Thank you all for your patience.
I'll start with this one. Evening, Mayor, members, Elaine, congratulations on your retirement. My name is Roy Brewer. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Brewer Lofgren, appearing tonight on behalf of the applicant Easton Development Company. I have with me Mike Pavick from Easton Development Company, Chris Finnessy, who is Senior Manager for Aerojet Environmental, Josh Marston and Steve Smith from McCann Somps Civil Engineers. I'm pretty confident that if there's a question tonight, one of the five of us can answer it.
Roy, will you just adjust that microphone a little bit so that you're...
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Better?
Yeah.
Great.
Then the audio will pick it up.
So we have reviewed the staff report. We've reviewed and highlighted the CEQA addendum. We've reviewed the condition of approval. And I would like to note again for the record what Jessica has said. There are no development rights requested today. No development rights will be conveyed if the tentative map is approved. It's simply a subdivision map. And we would like to point out that we endorse or approve all of the conditions, or agree with, rather, all of the conditions of approval provided by the Planning Commission, and would ask for your approval of the staff recommendation. Now, I did have a presentation to make, but frankly, Jessica's presentation covered most of what I was about to say. She addressed Justin's question. She addressed on slide 7, I believe, all of the 5 CEQA documents that have addressed Area 40 one way or another dating back to 2011. So I don't think I'll repeat any of that material. There has been another question raised since the Planning Commission action of October 30th, and that was, notwithstanding what appears on, I believe, slide 7, notwithstanding the 5 times this area has been addressed in the CEQA document, the last time there was a community outreach effort, a public information meeting about the remediation program and the successful completion of the remediation program was 6 years ago in 2018. And I can understand and appreciate that there might be or is a desire to have another community outreach meeting, and we're quite happy to do that. I would recommend, for your consideration, that a condition of approval be added to what appeared out of the Planning Commission hearing to require at least the scheduling and the public noticing of a public information meeting prior to approval of the final map. I offered that for your consideration.
Okay.
And I think I'll close with that and here to answer questions.
Councilmember Leary, we'll start with you.
Thank you. And thank you for all the discussions we've had over the last few days. And I was the person that brought up the idea of having another public information session, just to get everybody updated on the progress that's been made since the last sessions were held in 2018, because at that time it hadn't been determined to be safe for use. There was still some remediation to take place. And I think it's fair to let the community know, the current status of the site. And, I recognize this as just the tentative subdivision map. This will be coming back for a final. I thought we had some pretty good conversations and discussions back in 2018. I attended both of the public information sessions since then. The only public information sessions that have taken place since then have been in Rancho Cordova with the community advisory group. So I spoke with Mr. Brewer, and he had come up with this additional condition to be added to this. And it's not intended to be something to stop the final approval of these maps. It is intended to get the public up to date and give them the opportunity to ask questions, because having been a Superfund site for as long as a lot of people have lived here, I think it's important for the public to know, just as a matter of being transparent, with how this process has been moving forward. Because in the long run, this will be actually transferred over to the city. And I think people that have moved here since those 2018 discussions, many of which are in the area south of 50, probably want to know a little bit more about this. So I'm hoping that we can move forward with adding that condition this evening as a part of the approval of tonight's action.
And we are amenable, certainly, to that. We understand. And I might point out that the remedial action plan was approved in 2018. The soil remediation was completed in 2023. The groundwater remedies are in place, and they will continue to be in place for decades. We have submitted a implementation explanation to DTSC, which we are anticipating they will confirm that the remedial action plan requirements have been taken, and we're awaiting that confirmation from them.
And at the point when, when housing does go on these things, there'll be some disclosures or something at the time for the buyers, because even if we schedule a meeting, which I think is a good idea, the people who are eventually going to live in that area, we don't know who they are yet. They don't know who they are.
I understand that. I believe it will show up in the title reports, and part of what is still yet to be accomplished are land use covenants that will be covenants running with the land, and my guess is, I don't have confirmation, my guess is DTSC and US EPA will require some sort of disclosure.
Okay, thank you. Question?
No, I was just going to say I also agree that I think that's a nice compromise.
Okay, great. Any questions for the applicant? All right, thank you. We're going to open the public hearing. Do we have any requests to speak?
You have no request to speak on this item.
Anyone from the audience running down? No, then we're going to close the public hearing. And I think we will entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
may we make sure that a new condition of approval number 29 be read into the record before a vote is taken?
Yes, that would be to add, to schedule and publicize a date for a public meeting, correct?
Can I read the language, please?
Okay.
So new condition 29 would read, prior to the approval of the large lot final map, a public information meeting shall be scheduled and noticed to provide a progress update related to the completion of remediation of this Area 40.
Okay, so we would need a motion to approve the resolution with that addition of condition number 29 and the change to the date, the correction to the date in condition number 15.
I will move approval of resolution 11308 with the added condition number 29 and the modification of condition 15 to indicate December 10th, 2024, as discussed earlier.
Beautiful. We got a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Rathel?
Yes.
Rohrbaugh?
Yes.
And Aquino?
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. All right, we are going to temporarily adjourn the council meeting and call to order the joint meeting of the City Council, the Folsom Redevelopment Successor Agency, the Folsom Public Financing Authority, the Folsom Ranch Financing Authority, the South of 50 Parking Authority, and I think that's it. Would you please, we have to call the roll here, or?
Okay, yeah, council members Kozlowski?
Here.
Leary?
Here.
Rathel?
Here.
Rohrbaugh?
Here.
And Aquino?
Here.
Okay, your one and only item is this consent calendar tonight. You have no request to speak on this item.
I'll move the consent calendar.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Kozlowski?
Yes.
Leary?
Yes.
Rathel?
Yes.
Rohrbaugh?
Yes.
And Aquino?
Yes. All right, we'll adjourn the joint meeting and reconvene the city council meeting. That takes us to our city manager's final city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. So right behind the first gentleman is your new interim city manager, Dan Haverty, and just wanted to thank Chief for taking this role on. It just gives me immeasurable relief to know that the city will be in good hands. So he's your guy starting on Saturday. So thank you to Dan very much. A reminder that the Folsom Sioux Sanctuary is, again, holding Wild Nights and Holiday Lights, which is one of our family's favorite events. And the event will be held over 12 evenings, including December 12th through the 15th, from 5 to 8, and the 18th through the 22nd, from 5 to 8:30 p.m., with the last entry at 8 p.m. Tickets must be purchased in advance online. You may have heard some hullabaloo already this evening, but the Folsom Police and Fire Departments are teaming up with Santa Claus to visit Folsom neighborhoods through December 14th. A fleet of emergency vehicles, along with firefighters, police officers, and city officials, will escort Santa through Folsom's neighborhoods. Santa's elves will collect non-perishable canned goods to help stock the Twin Lakes Food Bank for the holidays, as well as unwrapped toys for the holiday toy drive. And you can find Santa's schedule and information at folsomsantatracker.com/routes.
The city has partnered with the Sacramento Tree Foundation and SMUD to host a skateboarding-themed tree planting event at Cummings Family Skate and Bike Park on Saturday, December 14th from 9:45 to 1 p.m. Volunteers are needed to help plant trees in a beautiful park setting. To recognize the skateboarders who frequent Cummings Family Skate and Bike Park, attendees of the event will have the opportunity to suggest names for the trees planted, inspired by some of the more accomplished skateboarders in history. The Holiday Lights Contest is underway. Join us in spreading holiday cheer throughout Folsom by entering your home, neighborhood, or business in the 4th annual Folsom Holiday Lights Contest. The Folsom Times will provide prizes to the winners, and the categories include Clark Griswold, which is the best use of holiday lights in a residential setting, Hollywood Christmas, best use of theme and/or fictional characters in a residential setting, Merry and Bright Business, festive commercial business display, Illuminate the Block, best multi-house display. And you can register by December 13th at our website. And thank you again to everyone. And Mayor, I am indeed finally going to go to bed starting this weekend.
Okay, that takes us to council comments. Councilmember Leary, you want to start us off?
Oh, I'd just like to thank staff for the presentations tonight, and I'm looking forward to continuing my work here. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Rohrbach.
No, I'm just going to request an update from the Parks and Rec on where the status is for the kids play park. And so if we could get that in January at some time. Nothing intensive, just an update for our residents and those that watched the budget closely last year. So I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. Hopefully everyone's either staying home and snuggling in with their family or going somewhere fabulous. Just Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. All right, Vice Mayor Raethel.
I'm sure I'll have plenty of requests in January, but for now, I'm just going to dig in and I'll start sending all of those emails to Mr. Haverty, Chief Haverty. So thanks for stepping in, and Elaine, I look forward to celebrating with you.
Councilmember Kozlowski.
I just want a big thank you to everybody that is part of FHDA and puts on the Christmas tree lighting every year. It was spectacular weather, so it was the biggest crowd yet. There easily had to be 4,000 people out there to see our Christmas tree turn on, which is a great highlight of my life. And I especially want to thank Officer Triplett from the Folsom Police Department for his outstanding acting skills, because the Grinch, who serenades everybody every year, is unpredictable, and he managed to corral him up to the stage and put him under arrest for us. And then I got the great honor of being part of starting the California International Marathon on Sunday. I did not run it this time. I just stood there and watched them all take off. But I was very proud that 4 members of the Vista Del Lago cross-country team teamed up to run 2 relays. Each of the 4 people ran half the marathon. All of the girls cross-country team from American River College, which my daughter is one of, also ran in relay form. And Ryan will appreciate this, but my son Harrison finished the marathon in 2 hours and 49 minutes, which is shockingly fast. So, yeah. So I completely missed the boat on that one when he was in high school. He should have been a cross-country runner, apparently, instead of a sprinter and football player. So with that, just thank you to everybody that helps put on the marathon every year. I know it's a big lift for our Public Works Department and our Police Department to close all the roads and get everything ready for that. And I'm grateful. It's a really wonderful economic development activity that brings a lot of people to town. Makes us that much extra famous.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. And I am pleased to report that I was asked, along with Sacramento County District Attorney Tin Ho, to be one of the 2 honorary co-chairs for the Metro Chamber's Cap to Cap trip in 2025. So I accepted that honor, and I'm looking forward to that. Elaine, I want to wish you a healthy, happy, very long retirement. Can't wait to have lunch with you. And we do not have a second meeting in December, so we will see you all back here January 14th. And I'll echo Councilmember Rohrbach's comments. Want to wish everybody a happy holiday and a happy and safe new year. Thank you. I should say.